Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. Charles Beatty is one of the best-known foreign residents in Benalmádena. This English nonagenarian was received by the Mayor Victor Navas, who congratulated him for his recent award as a member of the Order of the British Empire.
Benalmádena's Mayor Victor Navas and the Foreign Residence Area Technician Joanna Dordowska received on Monday at the Mayor's office with a veteran of the foreign residents in our municipality, Dr. Charles Beatty, an example for our community. He was recently appointed member of the Order of the British Empire for his services to the British expatriate community in Spain. He received his condecoration from Prince William in a very special ceremony at Windsor Castle.
That was extremely good. I mean, that's when that was when Prince William, and that's when he put that on me. And then I said to him, you support Aston Villa? He said, yes, I do. I said, well, it's a wrong team. He said, yeah, it is a wrong team. So I said, I'll tell you what you do. You're 6 foot, you could go in goal. And he was right.
Beatty pointed out that Benalmádena is a great place to live, something he told the Prince personally.
It's better here than anywhere else because it's the cost of living out here is good, and the weather's always good, nearly always sunshine, whereas in Britain and other places it's not. So people should come out here and live like I did.
He also told us that he has known Navas for a long time and that he only regrets that his beloved wife was not alive to share the recognition with him.
I've known him for a long time, haven't I? The only thing that I've bothered is that my wife died 3 years ago, so I hope she's listening.
For his part, Navas valued the figure of Beatty, emphasizing that he is a reference for the municipality. In addition to being an exemplary person and a reference in Benalmádena for the entire British community, he has been a personal friend for 12 years. Condecorated for his heroic participation in the World War II, he came to live in Benalmádena 37 years ago because his wife had a health problem, and he was advised to move to a place with a good climate such as the Costa del Sol. He quickly became involved with the whole Benalmádena community, especially with the British residents, and was one of the driving forces behind the translation services both at the police station and health centers, and founded the Aged Care Association to help British residents in solving problems and administrative doubts related to health and social security. The mayor highlighted his active participation collaborating with foreign residents of the municipality and facilitating their integration, and told us an anecdote that showed Beatty's great sense of humor, something that he confessed is important to reach his age with energy and vitality. Charles Beatty has always been very concerned about the British residents community in Benalmádena and has been an active militant of the Labour Party, which is why I met him 12 years ago. Being very involved with the social and political movements of the town, he received the MBE from the hands of Prince William for his services to the community of British residents in Spain, and there is a peculiarity that he has also been the British student who has achieved a doctorate, the second of his career with more age. He got it with 95 years for a work of sociology and analyzed the reasons why the British moved to the Costa del Sol to spend their retirement. He has been showing us photos of that reception in which he received the MBE, and has told the anecdote that when Prince William asked him where he lived, he replied that in the best place in the world, Benalmádena.
City Council continues to advance in its project for the improvement and transformation of the Antonio Machado Avenue, and last week they held a new meeting with several business groups to know their opinion.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas held last week a new meeting with representatives of AECOS, ACEP and ASTB to inform them of new developments in the project of improvement and transformation for Avenida Antonio Machado in Benalmádena Costa. Navas stressed that he is working to gather the positions of the groups and meet their request. We have convened a new meeting to explain the new developments regarding the remodeling project of the Antonio Machado Avenue with representatives of the main business groups in the municipality. I want to announce the imminent start of a dissemination and information campaign on the project, as well as the organization of future assemblies in which various citizen and neighborhood groups will be convened to detail the project. The mayor explained the measures to be taken to tackle the main problems raised by the groups which concern parking areas and public transport. We've discussed two proposals raised from AECOS and the two merchants associations regarding the creation of new parking areas and the improvement of public transport. City Council have already received almost 2,500 applications for cards for free use of municipal public transport, in addition to working on the shuttle service for next summer. Regarding the future pockets of parking, some will be provisional, and for this we will prepare some esplanade or proceed to the road management of a street to allow the creation of new places, and others will be definitive. With these meetings, the government team facilitates the participation of hoteliers, businessmen and traders in the new urban design for the coast. The approach is that in the first line of the coastal facade is the remodeling, revitalization and renaturalization of the Avenue Antonio Machado, and in the second line locate the new parking areas. He also highlighted that the meeting was very productive and it has allowed technicians to resolve firsthand the doubts of the groups, and said that this is a difficult but necessary project for the coast. It has been a very productive meeting where we achieved the unanimity of all participants in the need for this project to go ahead, and in which municipal technicians have resolved many doubts of the attendees regarding aspects such as the size of the road, the width of the sidewalks, or how many lanes of traffic could accommodate. We have all agreed that this is not an easy project as it poses a complicated transformation to execute, but we are committed to developing an action that will improve the environment and is to the liking of most of the citizens. This road has already ceased to be the old Nacional 340, and at the meeting it has again become clear that it needs a new identity to become a place for leisure and recreation for residents and tourists. As part of the citizen participation process involved in the development of the Sustainable Urban Development Strategy for Benalmádena, meetings are being held by various groups and associations to explain the latest developments in the remodeling and revitalization project of the Antonio Machado Avenue.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas and Employment Councilman Joaquín Villazón chaired last week the Conference for the Visibility of Good Practice, which are part of the network program Mentor Incluye.
Casa de la Cultura hosted last week a conference for visibilization of good practices organized by the employment delegation within the program Mentor Red Incluye of the Benemplea Incluye project, co-financed by the European Social Fund and Benalmádena's City Council. The Mayor Víctor Navas and the Employment Councilman Joaquín Villazón opened the event, which was led by the Employment Department Director Ana Bautista. Navas began by talking about the differences in access to the labor market and the importance of the collaboration between public administration and the private sector to solve them. He also praised the role of teachers and mentors. With these initiatives, we comply with another of the actions from the operational program for employment, training and education Benemplea Incluye. Thanks to these good practices, we've managed to bring students a little closer to companies and professionals through the figures of knowledge mentoring. Between companies and professionals, thanks to this project, there have been a total of 24 collaborations, which have reached a total of 150 students. The mayor stressed that these type of actions are a great opportunity for people who want to improve their professional profile and has put in value the insertion data. The goal of this project is helping the most vulnerable and unemployed people to improve their employability to facilitate their insertion in the labor world through the support of mentors who, with their experience, have opened to the participants one more door to the knowledge of the labor market and the selection process. In total, 68 agreements have been seen for internships in companies, and almost 57% of the participants have achieved a job placement rate despite the extraordinary difficulties that the pandemic has generated in the labor market. During the conference, the good mentoring practices carried out throughout the Benemplea Incluye project were present. Likewise, the members of the A Toda Costa network explained their experience with similar programs in their municipalities. In this way, they've discovered firsthand the good work of these entities and municipalities, unifying criteria to extract a method or process of good practices characteristic of the area in terms of employment and training.
Last week, students of the IES Benalmádena received a training on recycling, organized by the Environment Delegation and Planeta Explora. The initiative aims to raise awareness among young people through practical cases and experiments.
The Environment Department is taking an awareness program organized with Planeta Explora to different schools in the municipality. Under the name Benambiente, this program organized talks about recycling and other topics related to sustainability, and last week it arrived to IES Benalmádena, where they discussed about circular economy and recycling. Planeta Explora director and Benambiente coordinator Germán Bernal explained the topics that have been discussed with these young people from Benalmádena. The initiative arose from the City Council's Environment Department to take advantage of the synergy and experience we had after having worked with all the city's schools for many years. It is a program that focuses on the last level of primary and the first levels of secondary education. And together with our monitors, we are working with the students on subjects such as recycling, climate change, circular economy, and the concept of fatbergs, always with a very practical orientation. We try to get them to approach physical tests and concrete experiments that serve as an element of reflection for a subsequent change in their behavior with respect to the environment. The new generations have the concept of climate change and concern for the environment and the planet much more present than in later generations. Environment Councilman Juan Carrillo didn't want to miss the opportunity to visit the activity, showing his support for the program. The councilman praised the level of interest and awareness shown by the students and thanked Bernal for his effort and dedication. The degree of involvement with environmental issues of these students is impressive. They do not stop showing their interest through questions and active participation. I want to thank Germán for his effort and dedication. We were also able to speak with Diana Navarro, coordinator in the center of the Aldea program from Junta de Andalucía. The teacher emphasized that although the new generations show a high degree of awareness on this issue, there is still a lot of work to be done. We contact the Environment Delegation to organize this cycle of recycling workshops. If we do not start to raise awareness among students from an early age, the future that awaits us is quite uncertain.
Like every year at this time, our Welsh community prepares to celebrate a very special date, St. David. After the online party organized last year, on this occasion they will be back in the streets with lots of entertainment.
St. David's Day is here once again, a date marked in our calendars to pay homage to the patron saint of Wales. After last year's online celebration, now the Welsh Society Association has prepared again loads of activities at Bonanza Square. This week we had the opportunity to speak with one of its members, Gary Benham, a well-known personality in Benalmádena, who explained us that they are really excited to be back on the streets again, celebrating the date and bringing some joy to these harsh times.
Thank you very much as always, and yes, it is our 11th year doing the St. David's Day celebration here in Benalmádena, and always, full of energy, full of joy for the occasion. This year we've chosen a child cancer charity, as every year we're doing it for a good cause, And it's just basically a chance for these, February, March, that sort of time. Everyone's a bit dreary and stuff, so it's always good to get that kick in on the 1st of March for St David's Day. I think Dewi's also in agreement with that, isn't he? Yeah. So it's always a great opportunity to have a good laugh and always for a good cause.
He also told us what he could about what they have prepared, with shows for all types of tastes, and we can confirm that our favorite dragon will be present.
And it was a shame last year being online, but this year being in person, it is indeed, another chance to really get the flavour of Wales back on the Costa del Sol. There are a few acts that were supposed to come last year. Unfortunately, it had to be cancelled from Wales. But there is a male voice choir that might be sending in a video as well. There is a few acts coming from Wales. There is, the usual faces up and down the coast. So, it's a good opportunity, as I say, to all have a good laugh. And even though it is the Six Nations at the moment and the rugby and all that, we're not going to hold any grudges. All nationalities are welcome. And especially, it's always nice to see the Spanish there. At the end of the day, we are in Spain. So it's very, very nice to see all the Spanish coming along as well.
Every year they collaborate with an association, and on this occasion their proceeds will go to AVOY.
This year we've chosen the Malaga charity here, local charity in Malaga. A few years ago it was a Welsh one in Tywyn in Wales. Last year I think it was the Spanish Heart Foundation also here. So it's good to keep it local and also back in Wales. But this year we have chosen indeed the AVOY Cancer Charity for Children and Infants. So it is, as I say, especially with COVID, everyone's been struck hard by COVID. But we do try to help as much as possible and always having a good laugh, so that's important.
St. David, a traditional festivity for the Welsh community that has been celebrated in the municipality for the last 10 years. The Welsh Society Costa del Sol is a group of expatriates who have come together with the aim of raising funds for various charities both here in Spain and in South Wales. Since 2012, they have raised over 13,000 euros for charities including Down Syndrome Associations, the Premature Baby Unit at Malaga Maternity Hospital, Age Care, and the Spanish Association Against Cancer, among others.
And these are today's headlines. Navas receives Age Care Foundation Charles Berry. New meeting on the Antonio Machado project. Day for the visibility of good practice in the House of Culture. Environmental training in educational centers. Benalmádena celebrates St. David's Day. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies with probability of occasional showers that could be accompanied by mud deposit, less likely in the Exarchia, opening clearings in the interior at the end of the day. Temperatures unchanged or falling, winds from the east or southeast, winds from the east or southeast, with strong intervals and occasional very strong gusts. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.